In this video, I'm going to show you 5 easy steps of how you can transform these 4 basic piano chords and turn them into jazz music like this. It's actually easier than what you think, even if you are a beginner level piano player and even if you can't read sheet music yet. So let's dive into it. Hi, if you don't know me, my name is Matt Hodge, and for the last 15 years, I've been a music professor and a professional piano player and a private piano coach. And one of the biggest topics that constantly comes up is piano students want to be able to play jazz music, but they think it's unattainable because they view jazz as being music built on really complicated sheet music and really complicated music theory that takes years to learn. And so they see it as an end goal that feels very far away, which I hate that. I never want piano students to think an end goal is very unattainable. I want them to have an entry point that feels very attainable in this moment right now. So that's what we're going to do with you. I promise you, you can play jazz music starting today to get you excited. That then, if you want to go deeper down the rabbit hole and learn more of the complicated music theory of it, fantastic. I love geeking out about that stuff. But you don't have to be able to do that in order to feel like you're creating your own jazz music on the piano. So let's dive into it. We are going to break this down into 5 easy steps that build on each other. And once we get to step 5, it is the secret magic sauce that makes stuff sound jazzy. I love it. So step 1, we are going to take the chords and do something very simple with them. Now, what are our chords? The 4 chords we are using are C major, C, E, G, A minor, A, C, E, D minor, D, F, A, and G major, G, B, D, okay? Those are the 4 chords that we are going to be looping. Now, we are using these 4 chords on purpose because notice all the chords are built on white keys, and this is going to become important later. They are all from the key of C, so it's all white keys. Now, step 1 is we are turning all of these basic chords into a 7th chord. We're going to add a 7th to each one, but it's really easy to see how to do this. Now, each chord, like we just said, is built on a white key. Well, notice how every chord is built on, you start on the note, so C for C major, you just skip a note. Now we're going to keep doing it to add the 4th note. We just added a 7th chord. So technically we're playing a C major 7 here, but you don't have to know the technicalities of that for this video. You're just gonna add a 7th to it, whatever the white key is. So it's 4 white keys that are built on each other, they skip. Same thing for A minor. Our normal A minor is A, C, E. Notice how they're built on because we skipped a white note in between. Same thing, skip another white note, add the 4th note. Now we have a 7th. An A minor 7th. Same thing for D minor. Add that 7th. And same thing for G major. Add that 7th. Boom. Those are now our 4 chords. Now, step 2 is once you have the notes for that you know you're working with, already those sound more jazz-like, right? But the goal is we want to be able to, what I call, spread out the left hand. So step number 2 is spreading out the left hand, meaning we want to make sure that even though these are our 4 notes, for example, we have this habit of wanting to play chords in the left hand and the melody in the right hand. We don't want to do that, all right? Especially with jazz. We want to be able to marry them together. So even though C, E, G, B are the 4 notes for the C major scale, I don't want you to feel like you have to play those notes all in the left hand, because in the left hand, notice how muddy that sounds. It's muddy as we play stuff low. So instead, how could you do stuff like this, where your left hand is playing less notes and it's more spread out? So for example, instead of having C, E, G down here, what if I move that E up into the right hand? right? So my right hand is playing that 7th note, the middle note. There's not a correct way to do this. It's just practicing each chord where instead of the left hand is doing all the heavy lifting, take some of the notes out of the left hand to spread out the notes in the left hand and add that note that you took out somewhere in the right hand. So it's practicing making the left hand feel a little lighter and letting the right hand take some of that heavy lifting. Okay, step number 3, rhythm. We don't just want to do this, where both hands are doing the same thing each time, right? We want to be able to marry them, go back and forth. So notice how there's not a correct way to do this, but when I just kind of jam on jazzy rhythms, I'm going back and forth. Sometimes the hands hit stuff together, sometimes it'll be the left hand and then the right hand plays something, or vice versa. So instead of doing this, right, stuff like this. Now, an easy way to try this is whenever there's a new chord, definitely have the left hand play when the new chord hits, have the right hand sometimes play with the left hand, sometimes it bounces and echoes. So instead of doing like this, it could be, right, or sometimes the right hand can bounce and kind of do an accent and be short, sometimes it can hold it, but yeah, you can kind of alternate. How are the hands working together? Okay, you want them to feel like they're kind of bouncing back and forth. Now, step number 4 also goes with this. Notice how when I'm playing, I'm not banging on the piano, right? Step number 4 is doing what I call add the gentle touch. It makes it feel so much more sophisticated. Right? Sometimes something can be loud, right? If you do like that little bounce, that can be a little louder, but it's not that jazz music has to always be soft. But typically when people come to me and say, help me learn how to play jazz music or sound jazzy, usually what is in their mind is that sound of the smoky lounge and the jazz music just kind of wafting from the corner. That's kind of the sound they're envisioning. So you want to have that sense of gentleness, that sensitivity. Yeah. Now, step number 5 is where we add the secret ingredient. Like I said before, it was really important that we were doing the C major key signature, meaning so far we're playing all white keys, because now we're going to add what is called chromatics. Jazz music and blues music, especially jazz music, can have a lot of chromaticism. Chromaticism means if I start on a note and I play chromatics, I'm playing whatever the very next note is, up or down, whether it's a black note or a white note. This makes something like a chromatic scale. If I said play a chromatic scale, that means start on a note, so I can start on C, and I play every note until I get to the next C. This is different than a major or a minor scale. These type of normal scales we learn, those are specific mathematical combinations of white and black keys together. Chromatic just means play whatever the very next note is, which means it's often going to be a note that's not in the key signature. It's not in the scale or the notes that the chords are built on, which gives it a great jazzy sound. Adding chromatic notes is a great way to take chords that are also in pop and rock type of music, but it instantly makes it sound jazzier. Now, how do we do this? Well, if we're playing all white keys, the chromatic stuff we're going to add are black keys. It makes it easy to add visually. So notice, for example, if I do something like this. Notice how I'm like popping in a black note. Yeah? Adding black notes here and there, technically what you're doing is you're adding chromatic notes. And this is where some of that complex music theory comes from. Those awesome jazz chords that are built, and we build it on really interesting music theory. A lot of it is dealing with chromatic notes or adding white and black notes together in fun, interesting ways. But this is a simple way to start to practice it. So it could be in the left hand where you're going from one note to another. Yeah, it can be in the right hand where how you're moving up and down. You can do it a little bit. You can do it a lot. All right, it just kind of depends on what you want to do. You can add it with chords. If I'm playing a chord, add a black note. Make one of the notes into a black note. You can flick a black note, where even if I'm playing a basic C major scale, look at my right hand. I took a black note and I flicked it into one of the white notes. Adding black notes in the world of these white notes, and if you do it with confidence, there's not a wrong way to do it, and you will play something that sounds cool and jazzy. So, putting all this stuff together from our 4 basic chords, we have added the 7th note. We have added a gentle touch. We're making sure we're doing rhythm that kind of bounces back and forth, and we're adding chromatic notes. We're adding the black notes. That instantly turns this into this. Yeah. I'm adding black notes. I'm making sure those 7th notes in the chords are somewhere. I'm making sure my left hand isn't too bogged down, especially if I go low. The left hand isn't playing a lot of notes. You can just do this and have fun with it. It's a great way to practice how to play jazzy. So let me know in the comments how you did with this. Now let's keep this piano party going in a couple of ways. First off, I have a free download in the video description below. Make sure you check that out. It's totally free. It's a big PDF that I created for you, my YouTube community. It's called The Ultimate Intro to Piano, and so many chords and key signatures and stuff that really helps you unlock how to play some of this stuff on the piano and learn it quickly. It's all in there. So make sure you download that in the link and click on the video that's popping up on the screen where I show you even more cool stuff that you can do with piano chords. I also have opened up more slots if you are interested in doing a one-on-one piano session with me, where I can help you just in 1 hour jumpstart your piano growth and skyrocket what you're doing on the piano. I love working with people. So chat with me in the comments, do all the fun YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, share, all that great stuff, and I'll see you over in this next video. And until then, my friends, keep making music, especially jazzy music.